The outlook for Idaho's 2020 potato season was very promising at the beginning of the year. Then, in the middle of March, with the impact of the coronavirus becoming apparent here in the United States and globally, everything changed.
It was fantastic. I mean, clear up until the virus hit. I was telling people I farmed for 48 years waiting for a year like this because it kind of was the perfect storm. We had a few less acres, so less potatoes, and it looked like it was going to be a good marketing year. And I happened to have a good crop, pretty good yields and excellent quality. So I was kind of licking my chops, thinking this is going to be a real good year. And just prior to that hitting, our fresh returns were $12, $13 a sack. Our market was really good for another week or so. Uh, Food service slowed down, but retail was asking for more because everybody's starting to go to the grocery stores. But it started to affect us because our shed's built for probably 85% food service cartons, and we do some consumer bags, but it's not our focus. And so all of a sudden it was retail, it was wanting potatoes, and so we were trying to figure out how to move our carton stuff to retail, and then the commission started pushing bigger size bags, bigger size profile potatoes in 15, 20 pound bags, and we got some of that market. So it was a real slowdown for about a month.
It looked like it was a slam dunk, home run. Everything had lined up, and the Idaho growers looked very positive towards having a favorable market return for 2019. The demand for potatoes was good. D-high products was good. Restaurants were booming. Just the whole sector of the economy was in balance, and people were spending money, and particularly going out to eat and enjoying social events. It was just like an overnight avalanche of panic and extreme caution, and life as we have known it to that point changed dramatically. Like one move in this potato world affects another, and so because of this pandemic, the fryers, the French fry producing entities, panicked, and they took a lot of their inventory, 2019 inventory, and dropped it into the fresh and D-high markets. So they oversupplied those markets in order to cut their own inventory and not have to fill their freezers up. Additionally, they have reduced contracts for fries about 20%. And so it's just a double whammy in that sector of the potato world, which then trickles over or floods over into the fresh and D-high industries as well. We're struggling. The market has dropped in half for value. And not only that, it's just hard to find a home for these potatoes.
And things were going really good. Fresh market looked like maybe 2 years in a row it was going to be decent.
Yeah.
And seed was an issue, right? Going into this year, seed was short. So, yeah, did a little seed and had a spot for it because it was either that or if you're going to grow an open potato, might as well be one that somebody wants.
But it's a big it was a big change this year. The coronavirus caused a lot of havoc. Whether you agree with how they're handling it as far as shutting down, it caught everybody flat-footed and blind. It was pretty devastating to the potato industry. It wiped out a lot of the market, not only here but Asia. Asia was a big deal for us. The domestic market's a big deal for us, and you just can't. People, the fresh industry showed a little spark there for about 10 days, but the amount of French fries eating out of restaurants is a huge deal.
And baked potatoes.
Idaho this year, we had got the $13 open price there at the end of February. And there was no reason for potatoes, Burbank's, not to be at $15 to $16 as we're speaking right now. That's where it was going. The demand was climbing, had been for the last 5 years, and potatoes were short. You know, Idaho had enough potatoes to supply the market, and just enough, and there was a lot of people after them. But when you chop demand in, you know, by a third in about 5 days, it doesn't take long to create a big wreck, and that's what happened. You know, do you blame that? No. You know, it's an act of God, I guess, COVID-19 or the coronavirus, whatever you want to call it.
At the beginning of the season, I could sell, you know, if we would have had a nice crop that I knew was going to make it, you know, if we didn't have the frost, I could have sold a bunch of potatoes and stuff. But we try to have them all contracted, and so is what we did is we, you know, those uncontracted guys that were looking for potatoes, we turned them down because I didn't know how they were going to sort out, and so we really we cut back a lot on that because we knew we were going to be short, and so I was saving potatoes for the guys that always get spuds for me, and so we were just making sure that we could get them covered, and it looked like we were going to need every single one of them to make sure that we covered all our contracts we had. And then it goes from that to crash to you've got a whole bunch of more spuds that you've got to try to get rid of, and people backing out of contracts, and